I'm about to expose the fat loss myths that have been spread online for years. And I know this because, in my opinion, I've tried everything to lose weight. Besides Manjaro, I've tried carnivore diets, keto diets. At one point I was eating just pineapples, intermittent fasting. I've tried a lot of different stuff, but I've made these mistakes so that you don't have to. So today we're going to go over why losing weight is so goddamn easy, man. Hello folks, and welcome to the channel. If this is the first video that you've come across on my account, my name is Kieran and I'm an online weight loss coach with 5 years experience in the weight loss game. I'm not a qualified PT, but I have something a bit more valuable. I've been exactly where you are and I've transformed my life. And I'm now using my story to help other people do the same thing. Here I talk about my weight loss journey, tips of losing weight, and just simply using my story to inspire thousands. Now I have a free guide to lose weight. I'm going to put the link to that free guide in the description. It will ask you to create an account. It's on a website called Skool, which you can also download the app for. It's very handy and it'll get you losing your first 10 kilos if you stick to it. But if you want something a bit more personalized, then use my WhatsApp link. But before that, make use of these videos because I share weight loss tips daily. Now the first point I want to make about losing weight, and it's a point that people hear all the time, yet people are so in denial about. You have to be in a calorie deficit to lose fat. It's just simple physics. If you eat less than your body burns, you lose fat. Now people think a calorie deficit is so hard to stick to. There are so many techniques out there to help you stick to a calorie deficit without neglecting treats. People always think they need to go off salads and completely cut out chocolate and crisps and whatever you like to enjoy. You don't need to do that. It is just simply calories in versus calories out. The only two things I've ever tracked on my weight loss journey is my calories and my protein. And people can't say it doesn't work because I've proved it. Now every successful diet works because of this. It's not because it's any magic pill, or should I say magic injection nowadays. It's not cutting carbs. It's a diet you enjoy and can stick to long term. There's no magic. Intermittent fasting doesn't help you burn extra calories. It helps you restrict them by shortening a time window during your day. So I can't stress that enough. There is no magic pill to lose weight. It is just a calorie deficit. Now, how much of a deficit should you be in? You should be in a calorie deficit of 500 calories below your maintenance, which if you don't know that, there's calorie calculators online for free that will tell you this. Just put your information in, your height, your weight, your activity level, your gender, and it'll tell you. Take away 500, just stick to that. You don't need keto, you don't need fasting, and you do not need Slimming World. You just need a calorie deficit. The reason that perfect diets do not work is because they are a quick fix. A quick fix is essentially a really quick change that you make short term to try and lose as much weight as possible. For instance, carnivore. Carnivore's a quick fix because you completely cut your carbs and just go off meat, but most people only do this for about 3 to 4 weeks before quitting because they just want to get as much fat off as possible without being in that calorie deficit. Well, what carnivore does, it just makes you not want to eat food. So although yes, you might not be in a calorie deficit to begin with, you will end up being in a calorie deficit because you will not enjoy food. That is not what weight loss is. So don't worry about perfect diets. Aim for a diet that has room for error, room for making mistakes and going over your calories slightly. Because even if you're in that 500 calorie deficit, if you go over by 500 calories, then the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to maintain your weight. Like, no big deal. You do not need intense cardio to lose fat. You don't need to run at 4 a.m. like David Goggins. You don't need to do all these intense workouts. The only exercise that's really mandatory for losing fat is walking. Why? Walking is a type of exercise that's known as steady state cardio, meaning it keeps your heart rate under a certain amount, meaning that your body doesn't reach for glucose for energy. Because it's a low intensity exercise, your body doesn't need an instant source of energy, therefore it can burn fat more efficiently. And just getting 10,000 steps a day burns about 400 calories extra. 400 calories, that's a game changer. It doesn't leave you fatigued, it doesn't leave you hungry, and it doesn't leave you tired or inflamed. The gym should not be for burning calories. So if you're going to the gym and wearing a Fitbit tracking the calories you're burning, you are lying to yourself. Your Fitbit is not telling you the truth. It is so inaccurate with calorie tracking, and the reality is your body burns most of your calories for you. And in fact, you burn more calories sleeping than you do from exercise. So the only reason you should be using the gym is to improve cardio and strength. Lifting weights is definitely a recommended thing if you're wanting to lose fat, because if you just go and walk for your entire fat loss journey, you'll end up becoming a bit skinny fat, which can lead to severe body dysmorphia problems. And trust me, I've been there myself. So you want to do a little bit of a recomposition, which will slow the scales down. The scales won't go down as quick, but you'll feel better in your own skin. You'll have a better frame, and you'll just feel better walking around with your shirt off. So although it's not mandatory, definitely recommended. The thing with weight loss is that it's not a specific diet that gets you the results you want. It's something that you enjoy and can stick to. That's what separates people from doing this long term and keeping the weight off and quitting 2 weeks in and restarting the next Monday. You need to enjoy what you're doing. It's mandatory. So stop chasing perfect. Just give yourself some room for error, because at the end of the day, we're human beings. And the perfect diet will lead you back to square one. What I tell a lot of my clients who are on their weight loss journey is that one reason that they're falling back on making really good progression is because they know a bit too much about weight loss. They're overwhelmed, not lazy. So you need to basically cancel out all of the rubbish that you hear online, and you need to stick to something that's based on you. That's what I help people with on a daily basis, and it works. No magic. It's just facts. So the problem isn't so much about knowing more about fat loss, it's about simplicity. Simplifying the process so that you can do it without being overwhelmed. Overwhelm will cause quitters. Don't be a quitter. Simply eating less, moving more, and prioritizing protein in your diet is really good fundamentals to work on. Then you can go into things like adding the gym to your weekly routine. And then it's just about sticking to it. But I can't stress this enough. You have to enjoy what you're doing. Otherwise, you're not going to succeed in it. Now, a few years ago, I weighed 160 kilograms. That's 25 stone or 350 pounds. I was only at the age of 15, but I thought weight loss was some complex strategy and secret that nobody was being told. I thought everyone was spreading a bunch of nonsense online and that there was a secret that I wasn't being told, because I felt like I tried everything when really I just tried too hard on the perfect stuff. But if you've got quality people around you and on your social media who give you pure logic and not tailored nonsense for idiots, then you're not being held back from any secrets. The formula is right there in front of you. So after 5 years of just making mistakes, trying everything, and it's because I just simply didn't believe what was right there in front of me. I thought I had to try all these different techniques to try and find a quick fix for my life. But you need to stop looking short term. You need to look at the long term, because even after you finish your weight loss journey, what happens from there? You need something to keep the clock ticking. You need something to replace that dopamine hit from seeing the scales drop. So to conclude, fat loss is not complicated. The fitness industry just brainwashes you into thinking that. If you just focus on a calorie deficit, hitting your protein and moving a bit more and just sticking to something that you enjoy, your progress is going to skyrocket. And you do these things for long enough and you'll be amazed at where you are in a year's time. Now, if you want more guidance on your fat loss journey, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment on your weight loss journey, tell me a bit about what you've been doing, maybe some mistakes you made along the way, and make sure you get that free guide. It is free, guys. You would be a clown not to get the free guide. If you want any more advice that's a bit more tailored for you and something a bit more structured, then you can inquire for online coaching using the link in the description. So keep working hard, keep everything simple so that you don't overwhelm yourself, and just keep going and you will do fantastic. And I'll see you in the next one.